Hey y'all, I got an anime channel called Mystic Sage, where I do anime top 10s, speculations, and more. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch to keep up to date with me, the channel, and even for some entertainment. Links will be in the description below. Thanks guys, enjoy the video. Well everybody, we've made it. We've gone through 17 different typings over the last 17 weeks, and now it's time we've finally reached the finale of this awesome theme team series pertaining to the typings in Pokemon. We're closing things on the water typing. Most of you guys probably already knew that since it was the only typing left. As a little bonus Easter egg, did you guys notice that I made these teams in the same order that I gave my opinions on each Pokemon of a typing a while back? If you did, good on you. And if not, I hope you appreciate the detail. As for the rules, I won't bother with getting too deep into them this time. This is the 18th video in this collection, and at this point, the rules are just a bit moot. Just remember that this team isn't explicitly made to be used in the Monotype tier, and it's built for action in Ultra Sun and Moon, so nothing related to Sword and Shield will be featured. With that being said, join me in this exciting finale creating the best team from the largest pool of Pokemon out of all the typings. The Pokemon that gets the honor of being the final Mega on one of these typing best teams is none other than Gyarados, edging out Mega Blastoise and Mega Swampert as the Mega I decided to go with. There were other water options, but those three stuck out the most to me. And Mega Gyarados was just too strong and too interesting not to eventually choose. Mega Gyarados has the Mold Breaker ability, which lets it hit moves on any Pokemon if their ability would normally prevent it from connecting. For instance, if a Pokemon has Levitate, Gyarados will end up being able to hit an Earthquake on them. It's a useful ability in a few different scenarios, though I'm not too sure if we will get a lot out of it this time. So when we take a look at the stats on Mega Gyarados, we can see it is loaded at physical attack with a base stat of 125 and some pretty decent special defense, so it starts at base 100. I like to say we'll focus on that special defense, but there isn't a huge need for that since we're going to have Gyarados be a hard-hitting physical attacker that I'd rather have with higher speeds than defense. So accordingly, I gave 252 EVs to do attack and speed, and also gave Gyarados the July nature, giving it 349 in attack and 287 in speed. Now that Gyarados is all set up and ready to go, we can try and put it to good use and sweep the other team. Gyarados' moveset starts off with Dragon Dance, followed by Waterfall and Crunch, and finally closes with Earthquake. Dragon Dance is going to be a move you want to use almost immediately after Mega Evolving, which will raise Gyarados' attack and speed to 523 and 430 respectively. After getting its speed up above 400, it's got a pretty good chance of outspeeding most other Pokemon, and that 523 attack will smack anything for a good amount of damage. Waterfall is next, and it'll be boosted by Stab to 120 base power, making it quite an interesting water-type move you have at your disposal. Some people might be wondering why I didn't go with Aqua Tail here for the extra few points in damage, but the fact of the matter is, Waterfall has a 20% chance to flinch the opponent, and that is naturally a very important thing to factor in for me. Crunch, on the other hand, is another 120 base power stab boosting move for Gyarados to use. It's going to have a 20% chance to lower the opponent's defense, which plays right into this moveset's wheelhouse of making the most of Gyarados' fantastic physical attack. Finally, things wrap up with Earthquake, which is here for coverage against electric-type Pokemon that will try to give Gyarados the work. Earthquake is base 100 power, and will probably one-hit most for electric types out there that will try and attack Gyarados' already pretty decent special defense. So we're going to be following up that massive power from a Mega Pokemon to even more power from a little blue rabbit mass that will melt your heart while sweeping your entire team. We've got Azumarill here, as you'd probably have expected for a team like this. And boy, is it ever the dark horse candidate for the strongest Pokemon on the team. Azumarill has got an incredible ability with huge power that doubles its attack flat out, making it already an increasingly strong Pokemon. However, that won't be the only addition that I'm making to its attack stat, you'll come to find shortly. We've got to improve its stats first though. And much like with Gyarados, I'm giving Azumarill 252 EVs in speed and attack, but this time instead of the July nature, it's going to be Adamant. Those boosts apply to give it 199 speed and 218 attack, which on the surface would look rather weak to the uneducated. But of course with huge power and the moveset I'm about to get into, Azumarill is going to become a monster all with the usage of a single move. Azumarill's moveset is Belly Drum, Aqua Jet, Play Rough, and Knockoff. Like I've been saying, Azumarill's attack isn't just going to be helped up by huge power, it's also going to have a massive boost from Belly Drum. However, to ensure getting the most of using Belly Drum, I've given Azumarill the Normalium Z, so that it will gain access to Z Belly Drum when Z Belly Drum is used. Prior to getting its HP reduced by half of its max, Azumarill will be fully healed. Since its speed is only 199, it'll be able to outspeed quite a few Pokemon that will probably be able to hit it for decent damage prior to getting off this first move. So having its HP fully restored before taking the hit is a big deal. When Belly Drum takes effect though, Azumarill will suddenly be at max attack, which is a cool 872. And then on top of that with huge power, its attack is doubled to 1744. Nothing is going to be able to tank a move from Azumarill at that point, unless they're under seriously perfect conditions like somebody for whatever reason running a HP/defense Mega Charizard Y. The ultimate move for Azumarill at this point is Aqua Jet, as it has priority that will be able to get past the problem that its unfortunate speed presents. Its base attack is boosted to 60 from stab, and with that stupid high attack stat, it's going to basically one-hit all Pokemon that aren't perfectly defensive and set it for a move like this. And even then, it will two-shot it as long as the opposing Pokemon doesn't knock Azumarill out after being hit. Aqua Jet is without a doubt the best move Azumarill could possibly have after using Belly Drum, and it's the main one you should be going for after maxing out its attack. However, we still need another 2 moves in this set, so those are going to be Play Rough and Knock Off. Play Rough is another stab move that will see its base power go to 135, and it offers a 10% chance to lower the opponent's attack by a stage. It's a good move to have, but it will probably be useless in the grand scheme of things. Knock Off is there just to use if there's a Pokemon holding an item that you'd like to get rid of, and even then you might not have a chance to use it due to Azumarill's slow speeds. Like I said, these other 2 moves are just here to round out the moveset, but Aqua Jet is the most important thing here, and really the only move you can completely count on. Now that we've got that set of strong physical attackers out of the way, I think it's time we involve a special attacker. There was only one place I could think to go to when I needed a special attacking water type, and that was the Hoenn region. Kyogre, or more specifically in this case, Primal Kyogre, was a Pokemon I just couldn't leave off this team when I was making it. Since we're using Primal Kyogre, that means it's going to be holding the blue orb, so once more the item slot is being taken up rather quickly here. However, Primal Kyogre is absolutely worth having this orb on, taking up a slot of an item. Its ability, Primordial Sea, makes it even stronger as it forces non-stop rain onto the field for as long as Kyogre is out in battle. The stats that Kyogre will have promoted are its special attack and HP, though its special defense is also pretty tremendous. Kyogre definitely errs on the side of being special, as its special defense is base 160, and its special attack is a monstrous 180. When we apply the 252 EVs to HP and special attack, and make Kyogre have the modest nature, we end up with 404 HP and 504 special attack. From there, it becomes very clear that we have an absolute threat on our hands, and something that the opponent will have a hard time dealing with if they're not loaded with electric or grass type physical attackers. If all this wasn't enough, remember that we have Primordial Sea effect, meaning the rain will increase the damage of our water type moves even more. The following moveset that Kyogre will be rocking out with is Calm Mind, Origin Pulse, Scald, and Ice Beam. Calm Mind is going to be making Kyogre even more dangerous on the special side, boosting its special attack and defense by a stage with each usage. Just using it once will give Kyogre 535 special defense and 756 special attack, and that is going to essentially eliminate any threat from the special side permanently. The only drawback to Kyogre, really, is that its speed isn't great, but that will probably not matter too much when you're able to connect with moves as strong as the ones it has. As for its defensive moves, we start off with Origin Pulse, its signature move. I thought about Water Spout in this spot, but since we're not running a regular Kyogre of Toy Scarf, it didn't really make as much sense as turning to this. The move will be boosted 165 from stab, and then boosted once more by the rain to 247, making it a tremendously powerful option. There's the problem of the move having only 85% accuracy, but the roll of the dice on possibly missing is well worth it when you can possibly connect with such a powerful move. Following Origin Pulse is another water move that will probably work out a bit better if you prefer having accuracy on your side. Scald. Scald will end up with 180 base power following stab and the rain dance, and that is absolutely nothing to sneeze at. You're going to have a 30% chance to burn the opponent as well, so I can understand this move being a better option for some of you than using Origin Pulse consistently. Finally, there is Ice Beam, and that is going to be covering the offensive grass types that might try and knock out this behemoth. You'll have a 10% chance of causing an opponent to freeze as well, but I wouldn't bother turning to this move for anything other than grass type Pokemon. So we've got half the team handled. So how about to start off the second half, we just head to the most water-filled region of them all, Alola. Yeah, that's right, IGN. If any region has too much water, it's Alola. It's literally a region made of islands. Anyways, we've got plenty of walls on these teams so far, and we're not done yet with that defensive concept. Toxapex is the next Pokemon to grace this water best team, and it's bringing the interesting water poison typing into the mix. This Toxapex is not just a mixed wall, but it's also pretty good at stalling things out. There are a few different abilities that could be used here, though I think it's very clear that the best of the 3 options is definitely the hidden ability Regenerator. Merciless actually is a really second interesting option, but it doesn't lend itself well when you're trying to build a more stalling set. Even then, an ability that lets you always land crits when your opponent is poisoned is a pretty interesting one for a Pokemon like Toxapex. Regenerator, however, is going to restore a third of Toxapex's max HP every time it switches out, meaning that Toxapex has a great line of recovery whenever needed. That won't be the only method of recovery though, as I've also given Toxapex the Black Sludge. They'll recover a 16th of its health at the end of every turn. If any other Pokemon somehow uses Trick or Switcheroo and Toxapex for whatever reason, they'll end up with Black Sludge instead, and if they're not Poison type, it'll hurt them with each passing turn. With all these methods of healing, there's a good chance chance that you'll manage to keep Toxapex in the battle for a decent amount of time. As for its stats, I chose to focus on the slightly higher physical defense since Gyarados and Kyogre already made for such good special walls. When making a wall, you always want bulk, so the 252 EVs go into HP and defense. When they're applied along with the bold nature, you'll see Toxapex's defense go up to a tremendous 443 and its HP head up to 304. Its special defense is going to be at 321 without even being touched, so trust me when I say that it will tank almost anything that you need to on the physical side with such stats. Toxapex's moveset is Scald, Baneful Bunker, Toxic Spikes, and a choice between Haze and Recover. I needed to include Scald in this set just in case you run into a taunt user in battle, as if you have a full moveset with nothing offensive, then you're going to have a bad time. Toxapex has a pretty lackluster special attack at only 142, but Scald can still be somewhat useful with a 120 base attack from Stab, and a 30% chance to burn the opponent if you weren't able to get them poisoned. Either way, it's not really a move you should constantly be turning to unless you have to. Baneful Bunker is next, and that is Toxapex's signature move, being its own version of Protect. If a Pokemon makes contact with Toxapex while it's using Baneful Bunker, it'll end up getting poisoned, which is quite frankly an outstanding side effect of using a move that is essentially Protect. Don't expect that to always be the case though, as anyone facing off with a Toxapex would probably do things a bit smarter and try to hit it specially instead of expecting Baneful Bunker to be something that could be used at any time. Thankfully for this Pokemon though, it's stacked defensively on both ends and should be alright for the most part. If you're not having a lot of success poisoning the opponent using Baneful Bunker, there's always the other option using Toxic Spikes. Toxic Spikes can be set up to poison any non-poison or steel type that switches in, and is planted firmly on the ground, and they can even be placed down twice to cause toxic poison to occur. It's a great part of what helps Toxapex stall out, as it eliminates needing to use Toxic on every Pokemon that switches in, and frees up precious turns for other Pokemon, or for Toxapex itself to stay out and do what it does best. Finally, with the last move, this one is more up to you, and what you value is more important. Haze will allow you to eliminate any stat changes that the opponent has, so if you're facing off with someone that is trying to set up or may have successfully done so, you should be able to turn Haze on them and completely ruin all that setup. Recover can be useful too if you're not in a position to take advantage of Regenerator, and Black Sludge just isn't giving you enough HP back. You'll end up being able to get back 50% of your max HP every time you use Recover, and that can be a big help. Like I said, you guys can choose what you like between these two, and either way you should be alright with this fantastic defensive Pokemon. Now that we vacation in Alola for a Pokemon, let's pull it back a little and head back to Kalos for the last two members on this team. Imagine this if you will. You're enjoying your day on a beautiful beach when suddenly a hand reaches out from the sand, soon revealing itself to be an entire terrifying body with what seems like arms everywhere. That Pokemon reveals itself to be Barbaracle, and it's the fifth Pokemon on this best team. Barbaracle might be a surprise for some of you, but it is truly a powerful Pokemon. It's got a really solid defense stat and a much better attack stat than one might believe. Also possibly even more important, it's got a great ability being Tough Claws. Tough Claws will up the base power for all moves that Barbaracle goes for by 1.3 times as long as they connect with the opponent physically, and that can turn into a pretty substantial boost in power for some moves. The other abilities it has, Pickpocket and Sniper, just can't stack up to the ramifications having Tough Claws can bring. Barbaracle's physical defense is what you'd expect from a Rock-type Pokemon, starting off at base 115, and its attack is great to start with as well, being at 105. No Pokemon on this team really fits into the role of being entirely physical in both defenses and attack, so Barbaracle's inclusion on this team is more so for synergy than anything else. Sometimes what might not seem like the best Pokemon can actually play a significantly important role on a team like this in covering up holes left behind by other Pokemon. Barbaracle is going to be getting 252 EVs in attack and speed, and will receive the Adamant Nature. Its attack stat will end up at 339, which is really good for what we want to do, and its speed will be at 235, which will be fine as well. Shell Smash, Liquidation, Stone Edge, and Aerial Ice are the four moves comprising Barbaracle's moveset. As you can see, I've got a plan to make Barbaracle even stronger, and that is of Shell Smash. Shell Smash will sacrifice a stage of Barbaracle's defense and special defense in exchange for doubling its attack, special attack, and speed. With one use of Shell Smash, Barbaracle will have 670 attack and 570 speed, setting it up as a fast and absolutely strong sweep candidate. Now I know what you might be thinking though. In order to use Shell Smash, you've got to take up a turn, so you're definitely going to get hit by a move, probably before you even end up getting the move off. However, on the off chance you can outspeed something immediately, you're probably going to be one hit by an opposing Pokemon with your defenses down by a stage. Well, I have given Barbaracle the White Herb to circumvent that. The White Herb will immediately reverse the stat loss suffered from Shell Smash, meaning that you'll get all the benefit without weakening yourself. With the Shell Smash set up, you're free to go for Liquidation, a move that will be boosted to 165 base power thanks to Tough Claws and Stab. Not only is this going to be a fantastic move to use per turn for the amount of damage it does, but it's also got a 20% chance to lower the opponent's defenses by a stage, which will just make things is easier for Barbaracle to take them out. Stone Edge doesn't get a boost from Tough Claws, but still will hit hard with 150 base power from Stab. It's got a high crit ratio too, which should play into producing a ton of damage regardless of who you're up against. Finally, there is Aerial Ace, which is actually great for coverage. The move can't miss, and with Tough Claws, it'll see its base power go up to 78. It's going to be able to take on the fighting and grass types that could possibly threaten Barbaracle. And after it's set up, it should have no problem taking out either of those Pokemon with just a single use of the move. Don't sleep on Barbaracle's usefulness, because it can put in work. Well, this is it. We have arrived at the final Pokemon to be featured on this original run of Typing Best Teams. We've gone through 107 Pokemon to get to this point, but I think this final mythical Pokemon fits the bill as a fitting member of this Water-type Best Team. I present to you the final Pokemon on a Type-themed Best Team, Volcanion. Volcanion has both the fire and water typings and is a special attacking fiend, going into battle with base 130 in that stat, as well as pretty good defense at base 120. Its ability is Water Absorb, which is pretty great for a Pokemon that has a fire typing, even if its other typing is already water. Alright, so it might not be the greatest ability on a team of all water types, but it's still a nice one to have. Any water move that hits Volcanion will heal a quarter of its max HP back. If you happen to be in a double battle with this team, you can probably come up with some strategies for it. Since I'm deciding to focus on the special attacking side of Volcanion, I'm going to be giving it the choice specs, which lock it into whatever move it's using, but also makes its special attack go up even more, by 1.5 times to be exact. From there, I'm making Volcanion modest, and giving it 252 EVs in HP and special attack, giving it 364 and 395 respectively. But with the choice specs, that special attack will raise up to 591. Volcanion presents us with Steam Eruption, Flamethrower, Earth Power, and Sludge Bomb. Steam Eruption is its signature move, and while it has 85% accuracy, it's going to pack a hard punch with a stab boosted 165 base power. It's got a 30% chance to burn the opponent too, so it's really just a less accurate but more powerful version of Scald. Flamethrower is next, and that's going to be at 135 base power when boosted by stab, and have a 10% chance to burn the opponent. Volcanion is doing a pretty good job trying to cause burns, but it needs something for those rock, ground, and electric types. Well, I guess Steam Eruption will work for the first two, but for the last one we've got Earth Power. It is base 90 power and has a 10% chance to lower the opponent's special defense by a stage when it lands, so it'll be yet another move thriving from Volcanion's high special attack. Finally, there is Sludge Bomb for general coverage, and mostly because we needed a final move in this set. It's got a 30% chance to poison the opponent and 90 base power, so just in case toxic spikes aren't getting the job done, you can still poison opponents if you wish. It's also going to be a quick way of eliminating fairy types. Well everybody, that's going to do it for the best team for water types. I'm all out of typings at this point, but I'm most certainly not washed up. This is the end of one series, but you can be assured there will be plenty more best teams in the future featuring a whole bunch of different themes. Plus, I mean, a whole new generation of Pokemon just released. There's plenty of new ones to pick from, so who knows if a remastering might be in order down the line. Either way, thanks so much for the support through these 18 videos and for the best teams in general. As always though, I want to know from you guys what you think about this best team. What would you change, and if you use a team, how'd it work out? If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and all kinds of other Nintendo content like Zelda, Fire Emblem, and much more. Also, I've been reviewing every episode of My Hero Academia Season 4 over on Mystic Sage, so head over there if you're into that too. I would love that a lot. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Memory Martin, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Jarrett Weiss Austin, Sodden Grider, and Enigma97 did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrian, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.